DNA replication inside a nucleus. So this is our DNA. The DNA is getting cut with the help of a helicase into two strands of DNA. So the single stranded DNA binding proteins will come and bind it in order to keep it as a single strand. 5' to 3' DNA, no problem, that is a leading strand and it will grow. It has its continuous replication. Whereas a lagging strand of template, what will happen, 5 to 3' end, it will produce one DNA and it will be cut in between. That is called as Okazaki fragments. So RNA primer will be helping for them for the construction of a new DNA. Polymerase 3 will come as the enzyme for getting that attached and a newer DNA will be formed. See, the DNA will be formed up to one level and it will be stopped at the other level. And polymerase 1 will come and it will conclude and it will replace the RNA polymer, and the DNA ligase attaches. So continuous replication will be there, and lagging strand it has Okazaki fragments and that will be replicated. Replication of DNA takes place during the S phase of the cell cycle. So during replication, each DNA molecule gives rise to two strands of DNA which must be identical to each other as well as to the parent strand. So what are all the methods for this? We can see this as a conservative replication or a dispersive replication or a semi-conservative replication. Conservative replication means the original double helix serves as a template. The original molecule is preserved and it has to be entirely new double strand should be synthesized. So it cannot be possible, it is not possible. Dispersive. So what will happen? The original molecule is broken into fragments and each fragment should have to be acting as a template for the synthesis of complementary fragments. Finally, two molecules are formed which consists of both old and new fragments. This is also not possible. So semi-conservative means the separated single strand acts as a template for the synthesis of a new strand. So each daughter double helix will be a carrier of one polynucleotide from the parent and the other one is a newly synthesized which is complementary to the parent strand. So this is widely accepted. So the widely accepted theory is semi-conservative theory. Semi-conservative replication was first proposed by Watson and Crick in the year 1953. This mechanism of replication was based on the DNA model. They suggested that two polynucleotide strand of DNA molecule will unwind and they will start separating at one end. During this process, covalent hydrogen bonds are broken. So the hydrogen bonds present in the nucleic acids will be getting opened. The separated single strand then act as a template for the synthesis of a new strand. Subsequently, each daughter will get one strand which will be complementary to the parent strand. So the parent strand will be there and there will be a new synthesized strand. So each parent strand serves as a template for a new strand. So the DNA will get one old and one new strand. Experimental proof. Experimental proof of DNA replication. The mode of DNA replication was determined by 1958 in the year 1958 by Michelson and Stahl. They designed an experiment to distinguish between the semi-conservative, conservative and dispersive replications. In their experiment, what they did is they took E. coli for many generations in a two culture media. One is called as the heavy culture, which has the nitrogen source of ammonium chloride with 15 Nn isotope of nitrogen 15. And then another culture media which had only 14 N, lighter culture media, isotope of 14 nitrogen. So the initial parent labeled with 15 N. What will happen? The replication, after this is being cultivated there, they transformed this to the 14 N lighter dish. Then what happens, you see, the one is the stronger, 15 light, heavy culture media, heavy strand. And the other one is the blue color is the light chain. So one heavy and one light has been formed. So in the next generation, one light, one heavy, and the two light, along with two light and one light and one heavy DNA has been produced. So at the end of the growth, they observed that the bacterial DNA in heavy culture contained only 15 N. In the light culture, it had only 14. But the heavy DNA could be distinguished from light DNA, that is 15 N from 14 N, by density gradient centrifugation using this cesium chloride. So centrifugation, if we do, what will happen? The lighter will come up and the heaviest will go down. So they just did this centrifugation and they got a light and a lighter and a heavy along with the hybrid DNA. In between that also there was some DNA. The heavy culture 15N was transferred into the medium of next NH4 chlorine and with the time interval of 20 minutes. After the first replication, they extracted the DNA and then they subjected that into the density gradient centrifugation. So what happened? The DNA settled into a band between this 15 and 14. After second replication of 40 minutes, they again extracted DNA samples and in this time they found that DNA settling in two bands, one at the light band position and another one at the intermediate position. So the results with this, they confirmed that Watson and Crick proposed theory, semi-conservative replication hypothesis was true.